Topic: The Man as the Spiritual Foundation of the Family, written by Professor Mannixs Paul. January 5th, 2026, MEFoundation Monthly Lecture, Series 3. A man is called to stand as the spiritual priest of his family, not merely by position, but by responsibility, conviction, and daily obedience to God. His foremost duty is to guard his heart with diligence, because the state of his heart will ultimately determine the health and direction of his home. When a man remains firmly anchored in God, he lays a solid foundation for a family that can endure the pressures, temptations, and moral confusion of a sinful and unstable world. A strong family is never built by chance. It is formed through intentional faith, consistent prayer, and disciplined living. True strength is not expressed through control or pride, but through humility, wisdom, and moral courage. Discernment is equally essential. The ability to make sound judgments, to recognize godly values, and to resist choices that may look appealing but lead to long-term harm. One of the most critical decisions in a man's life is the choice of a marriage partner. Marriage should never become a battlefield where peace, love, and purpose are constantly under siege. This is why prayer must come before commitment. A wise man seeks God's counsel before making vows, understanding that emotions alone are insufficient to sustain a lifelong union. In marriage, God is meant to be neither a distant observer nor an inactive partner, but an active partner. When God is invited into the union, He grants wisdom to make the right decisions and strength to overcome the inevitable challenges of modern marriage. Pressures from society, shifting values, financial stress, and personal weaknesses. With God at the center, couples receive grace to forgive, patience to grow, and clarity to resolve conflict rather than be destroyed by it. A good wife, one of character, selflessness, faith, and shared values, is not found by luck or coincidence. She is a gift from God, granted by divine grace. While selfishness may be widespread, God still unites those aligned in purpose and spirit, building marriages sustained by faith rather than convenience. However, the absence of true manhood in the family carries serious consequences. When a man fails to step into his God-defined role, through passivity, irresponsibility, or abandonment, the family structure weakens. Leadership gaps create confusion, emotional insecurity, and spiritual drift. Children often grow without clear guidance or discipline. Values become blurred, and the home loses its sense of direction and stability. A man who abandons his post, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, leaves a vacuum that no one else was designed to fill. Lack of manhood is not merely the absence of presence. It is the absence of accountability, protection, and spiritual covering. When men refuse to lead, families are left vulnerable to internal conflict and external pressures. Over time, this neglect can produce generational wounds, cycles of broken relationships, misplaced identity, and weakened faith. Ultimately, a man who walks closely with God, leads with integrity, and remains